Today the season is well and truly over. It's been over for a week. We're going to rank every Aston Villa's player season unless they haven't played at all, and we're going to rank them A, which is good, F, or A to F. A is good, F is bad, C is in about the middle, D is decent, I guess, E is not great, B is okay. So let's see then. About how many players have we got? We got like the smallest squad in the Premier League now, but let's go and rank them anyway. Let's go ahead. Let's start with Martinez. Well, this is a hard one because you can easily say, but you know, he's won the award for best goalkeeper in the world. He's just won the World Cup. You know, 2022 must have been the best year of his life. For Villa, I think he's been solid this season. He's pulled off some marvellous saves, but I've said it, compared to when the first season he played, it's okay. Like, in the first season, he was Villa's best player. Honestly, this season, I'm not saying he's been any worse, but, you know, he doesn't have those, you know, incredible moment, like as many incredible moments anymore. That is just my opinion. I love Martinez. He's a great goalkeeper, and I'm not saying he's done bad this season, but I'm gonna have to put him in okay. He's getting a B from me only because I know that there's, you know, there's some times where I think he could do a bit better, you know, which is really harsh, but I'll give him a B. Moving on to someone that is leaving the club, Ashley Young. What a servant. What a servant to the club. An absolute club legend. He will be missed as a Villa player, and I hope to see him one day become a coach. I'm going to miss Ashley Young. Don't get me wrong, I'm going to miss Ashley Young. He had a great season. Absolutely incredible season. For his age as well. Absolutely incredible. He's got to be an A. Ashley Young's an A all day long. Please, Ashley Young, just come back and get a coaching role at Villa. You're an absolute legend. We all love you all. You're just an absolute legend. Your chant's amazing. What a player. Been absolutely brilliant all season. I've got nothing else to say. He is an A. Top of the list. Konza, a tricky one. A lot of people have praised him under Emery, and understandably so. This guy has been unbelievable. He sort of goes unnoticed in the game because he just sort of gets the job done. I would like to see him score, or at least attack from set pieces next season, because the one thing Villa do not do is score from set pieces, and when you've got a centre back, one 6'6" in Mings, the other's about, I think Konza's about 6'3", you don't see them attacking set pieces enough. And I'd like to see that a bit more next season from Cons. But I think overall it was an okay season, so I'll give him a B. Move on to Tyrone Mings, who... Listen, I know what I just said, but at least this guy scored from a set piece, yeah? Tyrone Mings, mate. Tyrone Mings. And actually, I'm going to go back to Rescue Cons, because at the last day of the season, I actually saw this guy eating a Domino's pizza after the game. So, mate, I hope you're back to fitness. I'm joking. Totally understandable. But when Tyrone Mings came out to see the fans, you know, after the season's finished, you probably would just want to go home. But no, he wanted to spend time with the fans, and considering the tough start he was given under Gerrard, stripped of captaincy and dropped from the team, he put himself back in that pecking order. He put himself back in that role. He might not be the captain, but he was still the leader of that back line. He's been absolutely incredible for Aston Villa. And I'm more than happy to see him sign a new contract, and he's getting an A. I don't care how many mistakes he makes. Do you know what? Credit to him. Credit to him. You've got himself back in the England team. So anyone that sits there and goes, oh, he's not good enough, oh, he's just lucky, oh, it's because he's tall. No, he made more interceptions than anyone else in the Premier League this season. So Tyrone Mings, give yourself a round of applause. Well done to you, mate. You're getting an A. This one's a bit more difficult to judge, Alex Moreno. He joined us in January, and I was a bit... I'll go on to Luca Dean a bit later, but I'm a bit funny about him. And I watched a few videos of Alex Moreno and what he's all about, and I was quite excited. And he comes in, and he does a solid job, yeah. And I think he's being really good, actually. Unfortunately, he's just got an injury, but he'll be back next season. Moreno, he's rapid. He's a very good attacking left back. He's got quite a few assists now. You know, he's very good going forward. Defensively, we were a bit shaky at the start, but then he started to, you know, become more confident in defending, I'd say. It sticks in my mind on his debut when he cleared it off the line. Like, he comes on after 7 minutes, first thing he does is clears the ball off the line. Like, that's incredible. I think he just needs to keep, you know, working hard. I think you know, he is now 30, and Luca Dean's like 30, 31 as well. So you know, you just need to be careful, because I don't want him to become injury prone. But I'd say that he's going to get a B. It's an okay season, because we haven't seen an awful lot of him, because we've only seen him from January to May, which isn't a long time to really judge someone, so I'll give him a B. A. Douglas Luiz, A. Douglas Luiz, how? Where's this player come from? Incredible. Absolutely monstrous in that midfield. He deserves so much credit for why we're in Europe. He's been absolutely unreal all season, and a lot of people say it's only when Emery came in. Most of it was, yeah, he's definitely vastly improved, but there was something there when Gerrard was there, like at the start of the season. You know, he was contributing quite a lot. You know, he was scoring from corners, and you know, he got a few assists as well. And you know, Douglas Luiz, mate, he can score straight from a corner. He's getting loads of assists. He's just unbelievable, and it's honestly unbelievable. You can see that you know, he nearly signed for Arsenal, but he decided to stay, signed a new contract. No problem, no problem. He acts like he loves the club. You know, nearly left, but he acts like he loves the club, and that's what you want. You know, you want to see that fight and determination after that. So Douglas Luiz, you get an A. What? Someone tell me what is everyone's problem with poor Leander Dendoncker? Oh my days! What is people's problem with Leander Dendoncker, for God's sake? What do you expect? He is not a Boubacar Kamara. He is not a Douglas Luiz, is he? He is there he's a rotation player. And to be honest, he's not that bad, honestly. The few times I've watched him, he's actually quite decent, and he comes on and does a job. Don't talk to me about Stevenage. Don't talk to me about that, because that was Olsen's fault. One mistake. Okay, you want to tell me he made one mistake? Sorry, name any more mistakes, okay? It's not his fault. He comes in, he does a job. I don't know where the criticism comes in. He's a solid backup. He does the job. No one watched him for Belgium in the World Cup. I know they did horribly, but he was their best player by far. And the stats agree with what I've seen as well, agrees with what I've just said. I've seen so many things that were saying Dendoncker was brilliant. And he was, to be fair. He was one of, you know, Belgium had a stinker of a World Cup, but he was one of their better players. And we forget as well, he plays both centre-back and CDM. So maybe this guy doesn't play backup CDM next season. He plays backup centre-back. I don't know, but stop giving the guy such a hard time. He comes to do a job. He does the job. He's not a bad player. Watch him for Wolves. He's not a bad player. There's still a player there. Give him a chance. Back him. I'm going to give him a B. I think he did okay when he played. John McGinn. Has to be... If we were talking under Gerrard... F. F. Because he was diabolical. He was diabolical. John McGinn was gone. The John McGinn we knew and loved was gone. Disappeared. Phil Coutinho coming like the magician. He waved his wand. John McGinn had disappeared. He made him disappear. Gerrard gives him the captain's armband. He got worse. He was dreadful at the start of the season. He couldn't pass a parcel to save his life. He just wasn't himself. Emery comes in and he's reborn. John McGinn was reborn, and we've got the John McGinn back that we all love. The butt roll in, just, you know, last day of the season, dragging it out to the corner flag and winning a corner and the full-time whistle going. That is the John McGinn we know and love. That is what he's all about. So give the man some credit for turning it around. Same as Tyrone Mings as well. He's got a lot of time for the fans as well. So John McGinn, you're going to get a B, because I want to see more Scottish screamers next season. You were close to an A, mate. Keep it up. That's brilliant. Right, I'm going to get criticism for this one. If we were talking about the last few matches, Jacob Ramsey gets an A. But I ain't seen enough from him all season. And I think he's had an okay season. But he has had games where he's been diabolical, dragged off at half time. He's just not been in the game. He hasn't been good enough. And I get it, he's still young, he's developing. But him and Buendia, and I'll get on to Buendia, who's next, I've just seen. Him and Buendia, those two Muppets, at times, were the worst players on the pitch. They were slowing our game down. They were ruining the game plan. It was them two. And once one was having a bad game, the other one was. But for Ramsey, it's very much progressing. Really, he looks really good in certain moments. And he's really, you know, he actually played really well in the last couple of games. So I think if he continues that form into next season, he'll have no problem getting an A. But I'm going to give him a B, because he had a really poor start to the season like everyone else did, to be fair. Took him a little while to get used to it under Emery. And then he's starting to find his feet now. So let's see if that continues. Calm. Emiliano Buendia. Please, someone tell me why we need this player in our team. What does he offer? What does Buendia offer to this team? Absolutely nothing. I'm fed up of hearing it. He looked good coming off the bench. Well, now he deserves to start, does he? He starts, he doesn't do anything. He started near enough every game this season via a few. He doesn't do anything. I don't want to hear he scored 5 goals. Brilliant. Well done, mate. Douglas Luiz scored that many, probably more. He's a CDM, for God's sake. What does Buendia offer? He is so frustrating on the ball. He tries to do a skill. He ends up slapping the floor in frustration because he gets tackled so easily. He does my head in, Buendia. And he's a lovely guy. He's a down-to-earth guy. He tries hard. He works hard, yeah? I appreciate that. But 35 million for someone that cannot dribble past the easiest defenders in the world. It says a lot. This guy probably couldn't dribble past Jan Bednarak, for God's sake. Just get rid of him. Get Buendia gone, man. I'm fed up of it. He doesn't do anything. We bought him to be creative. Mate, I could be more creative on the pitch. You wouldn't even have to pay 30p for me. You have to pay 35 million for him. Honestly, he's so frustrating. I get it, you know. It's not easy. Football's not as easy as it looks. But this guy makes it look even harder. Everyone's praising him for doing this and that. He's not doing anything. He might be creating stuff. He's not creating goals though, is he? He's creating madness. He just doesn't do anything. He can't finish. He doesn't get... how many assists did he get this season? 1 or 2? That's not good enough. That is not good enough. Buendia's getting a D for me. I'm fed up of him. I gave him this season. Get him gone. Get him gone. I'm fed up of it. Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins. I mean, you've got to give him an A because of the way he turned it around. But at the start of the season, this guy was finished. This guy was more finished than when a 10-year-old attempts, I don't know, a 10-piece puzzle and after 10 minutes it's finished. This was this guy. his career was finished within 10 minutes. He looked absolutely woeful. He just was back to null self. He's never been able to finish before, but he got even worse. He couldn't do anything. And then Emery comes in, changes his season, and he's turned it around in fairness to him. And he's unlucky not to be in the England squad, so I'm going to give him an A. And I hope this form continues, because he started to lose it towards the end of the season. So I hope he picks himself up again. And continue the great work, Ollie, because you're working really hard, mate. So, an A for Ollie. Oh no, we've only just had one rant. We've got to have another one. Leon Bailey, my friend. Oh, we love Leon, don't we? No, we don't. No, why? Why? Why can't God just be so... What is it? Why does God have to be against this poor lad? I feel sorry for him. Mate, I want Bailey to do so well, it's killing me. I want him to succeed so bad. He's had such a tough upbringing, and he just wants to do himself and his family proud, and he feels, you know, he sounds like he's really hard on himself. I want him to do well, and I don't want us to see him sell him. But you need to stop getting injured. That's what we said last season. He was better this season. But you didn't do anything all season, mate. You had a few good moments. How many goals did you score? A few, like one against Man City. That was memorable. That was a great goal. One against Manchester United. One against Leeds. And there was probably someone else. I just can't remember at the top of my head. But... we need this guy to start scoring more goals. Stop fluffing your opportunity. And stop trying to skill the same player 20 million times. That's what he does every single time. It doesn't work. Just run, mate. You've got so much pace. If I was you on the ball, yeah, I've got similar play. Well, I'm not as fast as Leon Bailey, but I'm quite quick. If I had his pace, I know exactly what I'd be doing. I don't know why he's trying to show off with his skills too much. Just don't complicate it, mate. Just go. Just run it. Just use your pace, mate. Just get creative. Get stuck in the game. Because there's a talent there. And I want to see it next season, Leon. Because you had a good start under Emery. You were... Gerrard, it was hard to judge you, but you did okay. You've been okay, Bailey. I'll give you a C. But I need to see more next season. I want you to do well. This one won't take long. John Duran joined in January. He's been okay. We haven't seen much of him. He looks very raw, which we expected. He's quite young. I'd like to see him go out on loan next season. I'm going to give him a C, because it's hard to judge him. I think he's been okay. He's got that club passion. This is one for the future. Moving on. Luca Dean, I said I was funny about him. He's been woeful this season. Listen, he's been better in the last couple of games. But I'm judging the whole season, and he's been woeful from minute one. He was at fault for the first goal we conceded this season. Then he scored an own goal for his former club. Then he gives away a penalty. And then God knows what the rest is. Yes, he scored... Okay, fair enough. He scored 2 goals this season. One against Bolton in a cup. And a good free kick against Man U, I'll give him that. So that probably gets him away from the awful zone. He's been okay. He's got like no assists, but who cares? I think he needs to step up his game. And if he doesn't leave this summer, I think him and Moreno is going to be good competition again. But I think he needs to be a lot better, because he's looked really shaky when coming on. I'll give him a D, because it's not been as good as last season. But we'll see. This one breaks my heart. Callum Chambers. I really liked Callum Chambers when he first came in. I really did. This season, you know, I thought he was going to be the starter for instead of Mings. He didn't get that opportunity, and when he did play, he was okay, but he's not been great this season at all. He's just been there, and I think the criticism Dendoncker gets is the criticism Chambers gets, because you're saying Dendonker's there to do a job, so is Chambers, but he doesn't do that job. Like, he's been the one that's been diabolical at times. You know, he's been a bit of a lot, you know, he's not been really dreadful, but he's not Aston Villa standard. And that's saying something. You're a backup centre-back and you're not Aston Villa standard. That is saying quite a lot. I wouldn't be surprised to see Chambers go out the door this summer. And that, you know, that is a shame. I feel a bit for him. But I'm going to have to give him a D. He hasn't been good at all this season. F. I'm tempted to use another word beginning with F. Off. Olsen. Thank you. Get out the door, you Swedish lamppost. You're 6'6", but you act like you're 5'1", because every time someone beats you, you're sat on the floor like a garden gnome. You don't know what you're doing. You're the shakiest goalkeeper I've ever seen. You're at fault for half the times we lost this season. You are woeful. You can't catch a ball properly. You're a Swedish lamppost. Mate, the Swedish Royal Mail should be delivering this guy back to Sweden for us. Get him gone. Get him gone. Get him gone. I don't want to see this guy no more. I'm fed up of it. Every time he comes on, he's as shaky as, I don't know, something that's vibrating. I can't think. But he's so shaky. He drops the ball. He's so nervy. And that's not good enough for a second goalkeeper. I appreciate it's a tough challenge. Don't get me wrong, goalkeeping is not as easy as it looks. Get him gone. He's proven he's not a goalkeeper. I don't know what he is, but he's not a footballer. And he certainly wouldn't make a very good clown because he can't control the ball. He certainly can't control anything. He couldn't control a circus. The only thing that would make him a good clown is the fact he would be able to drop the ball when he's juggling. And the fact he'd make everyone laugh because he makes so many mistakes. Get Olsen gone, mate. Get him gone. Kamara, I'll give him credit because he's had 2 injuries and he's come back and recovered well and started, you know, he's been really, really good this season, Kamara. It's just them injuries I'm starting to worry about because I don't want them to become a problem. He's been unfortunate. I just want Kamara to stay fit now and just get back to full fitness and keep going. I'll give him a B. He's been good this season. He's close to being amazing. I feel like he's been really, really good this season. It's just now, let's see Boubacar Kamara ultimate now. We need to see the top level of this guy. He's there. He's getting there. Him and Douglas Luiz, they've been incredible this season. He's had his moments, Kamara. He's had his moments. I just want to see a full season of him next season. So Kamara gets a B. Cash gets a D. Cash gets a D. He does get a B. D. D for div, because that's what he is. Just get him gone. I'm really not sure about Matty Cash, to be honest. I've seen nothing this season. Absolutely nothing. He's done nothing for us this season. He's done nothing at all. He's just fallen. Matty Cash has. Injuries have got the better of him, but he cannot defend no more. You say Trent Alexander-Arnold can't defend. Have you seen Matty Cash trying to defend? I was at the Brighton game. He couldn't defend a teenager once. Like the teenager had him for dust every time. He's just incapable of defending. His attacking ability from last season's gone. He's been injured left, right and centre. Ashley Young's looked better than him. And for God's sake, Ludwig Augustinson looked better than him this season. Bro, the left back that we bought on loan played 5 games and left has looked better than a Polish international. That's saying something. He's a right back. He needs to be right back in the changing room. Just no more Matty Cash, mate. I want to see a new right back come in because I can't stand Matty Cash no more. I can't rate Kessler Hayden because he didn't actually play for us this season. He was out on loan for the first part and went back to the youth academy for the second. Coutinho, here we go. It's gonna be a B. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, we had a terrible season. Whoa. Terrible, huh? Right, below expectations, yes. Did he actually do anything wrong? No. Are the injuries his fault? No. 17 million, okay? 17 million. That is the that is less than what we bought some of the players for. That you know, we've got players we've bought, like, spent 25, 30, 35 million on. They have looked nothing like that this season. Coutinho hasn't been great at all, yeah? But you can see he is trying. You can see, look, all you have to do is look into the lad's eyes and you can see he's trying. He wants to do it for Villa, he wants to do it for his family, he wants to do everyone proud. Don't tell me he's here for the money because he took a pay cut. And yeah, I can see him leaving this summer, but don't be hard on him. He's trying, and the injuries are unfortunate on him. It's just not happened for him. But give the bloke some credit. Give him time. Emery wants us to be patient, we be patient. Give him time. Arsenal, yeah? That was the moment of magic that we've been waiting for. It's still there. It's still alive. We just need to find a way to unleash it. So give the bloke time. Stop being so hard on him. He's had a tough few years, yeah? He's got a good Brazilian, you know, friendships now with Carlos and Luis. That helps the squad as well. You know, if we need good morale, and I feel like Coutinho is an inspirational player to the young ones. Just let Coutinho do his thing, get back to fitness, and let's get behind him. It's going to have to be a beat, because I feel like he couldn't have done more this season, because everything just has gone against him. And I don't think people realise what, you know, it's not happening in front of goal, it's not happening there, but he is trying, and I think he deserves credit for that. Diego, my good friend Diego Carlos, we just mentioned you, mate. I'm going to give him a C, because he's not, you know, because of the Achilles injury that kept him out from near enough the whole season. I think he's played, what, 3, well, he started 2 games at the start of the season, got injured, and then came on for like 10 minutes against Wolves. So actually it's like 20 minutes, but he's looked decent when he's played, and we'll see more of him next season, I'm sure. He gets a C, not much to say. O'Reilly hasn't played because he's a youth player. Steer hasn't played and is leaving anyway. Rory Wilson leaving on, oh, was he? Oh no, it wasn't him. I think he's, is it Rory Wilson that might be going out on loan? I don't know, but he's one for the future but hasn't played. Feeney only plays really in, well, we'll see him hopefully soon. Them two, Ziyech and Lindley, haven't played. Travis Patson's been on the bench a few times, hasn't played. Swinkles hasn't played either. And then we've got a few more. Bertrand Traore, C. He's probably going to leave in the summer, but thank you for everything, Bertrand. You scored 2 important goals for us this season. That Leicester one will live long in the history. Played a huge part in getting into Europe, so thank you for that, Bertrand. Mate, you're a bit frustrating, like Buendia and Bailey, but you've been a good servant. If you do go this summer, it will be a shame. We'll miss your vibes, but I think you've done yourself proud, coming back off loan after a tricky time and performing the way you did. Fair play to you. So Bertrand, you get a C, and I think that's everyone. Caden Young played. Has he come on this season? No, I don't think he did in the end. But this one's, so the 3 talented teenagers that I think will make it: Rory Wilson, Joshua Feeney, and Caden Young. I reckon we'll see them next season. Sinisalo's also, I want to see him become the backup keeper in a few years. I don't really know much about the other ones because they're in the youth academy. But yeah, that's the whole Villa team ranked. I don't think I missed anyone. I feel like I did though. So, I mean, I guess now we have to see who we bring in next season. But some of those need to go. Some of them need to have better seasons, and some of them just need to keep working hard. So we'll see what happens next season, but that is the whole lot ranked.